The next step after finishing your research is to create an outline. Placing your work into an outline seems like a simple step, but it can be challenging. So sometimes I feel like I don't want to go through the effort of creating an outline and I want to jump right into writing my article. But don't make that mistake. Writing an outline helps you to organize your thoughts, assess the level of research you have so far, and ensures the article is going to flow concisely and coherently. Overall, creating an outline will typically save you time. We'll take a look in this lesson at how to create your outline and lay out your arguments. First, we have the introduction. You have flexibility here to start how you want, but make sure it hooks the reader in. This could be through a famous quote, a controversial statement, perhaps introducing an opinion that you will support throughout the piece, or just jump right into the topic if it's interesting enough as is. Play around with this and learn what works best for you. Then you'll want to present the main topic of the article, whether it's an argument, opinion, or claim. And this is similar to a thesis statement if you've done those types of essays, though of course this is much more informal. And lastly, any good intro needs to transition into the next section. In fact, each section we'll discuss has a transition at the end, and that's why it's so important to outline your piece so that you can check that arguments work together and flow logically. The first section of your article will be introduced by a subheading and then a topic sentence to outline the main point that's going to be discussed in this section. This first section needs to be your strongest point of the article. Keep readers engaged by presenting your best argument. You'll then dive into the detail of this argument, providing examples, facts, quotes, interviews, etc., to support your analysis. And of course, all of these examples will have your own explanation and opinion to tie them together. Remember, original thought. And after concluding all the examples and exhausting the argument, conclude it nicely with a sentence at the end of the section and then transition into section 2. Now, section 2 is the same format as section 1, except now you're going to present your weakest argument. And if your article is going to have more than 3 arguments in total, then you'll want to keep adding additional weak sections here in the middle of the piece. The last section for the body of the article will be your second strongest argument. So always your strongest point first and your second strongest point last, and put all of these weaker points sandwiched in the middle. For the conclusion, you should represent your argument, opinion, or claim, this thesis statement you've been discussing. Then you should quickly recap the article and how your statement is supported by the evidence. And lastly, as a final conclusion, you can choose to discuss wider context or implications, make a broader connection. You could discuss how your piece could change someone's mind, consider how it could impact the future, all number of things. And an outline is not supposed to be very time-consuming, but it can be mentally taxing. If you've placed your research into sections and you realize it's not enough to support your argument, maybe you change your opinion altogether, or you choose to go back and do additional research at this time. And in this case, creating an outline will have saved you a lot of unnecessary writing time. Because imagine if you had prepared half an article to suddenly realize your point makes no sense, or you don't have enough evidence to back up your claim. And this has happened to me before. It might happen to you if you're not doing your outlines. So check the resources of this lesson. There's a checklist there just to make sure that your outline has all the requirements we talked about today. And in the next lesson, we're going to continue the process of writing your feature piece by taking the time to do your research and